Okay, so we should be recording. We are now recording for chapter 2. If you are going to talk with your neighbor, I'm just going to send you in the hall. Okay, there's a lot of chatter going on. I want to get through this. And if you don't need it, because you know it, you can go sit in the hall. So for number 11, what best describes a statement if two planes intersect and their intersection is a point? Again, from chapter 2, we had postulates, and they said that if two planes intersect, they intersect in a line. And I'm not calibrated, so I need to fix that. So if they intersect in a line, then they're never going to intersect in a point. Come on, why am I not calibrating? There we go. I know, now you gotta watch me calibrate on the video. Okay? Okay, so they intersect in a line, so this is never true. Which of the following is an essential part of a good proof? You always need an if-then statement. That's what you're doing. What you're given is your if. What you're asked to prove is your then. If this is true, then that is true. Okay. Number 13. You are told if x equals 2, basically then, and x plus y equals 3, then 2 plus y equals 3. You are taking out the x, and you are just putting in the 2. That is why that is substitution. Okay? What property justifies the statement the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle A? That's the reflexive property. In this case, it would be of equality. Once again, your final is multiple choice. Now, what property justifies the statement GH is congruent to FD, so FD is congruent to GH? When we change, just change the sides of the equation or the congruent statement. It's symmetric. Now, in this class, we had problems where we had like BA is congruent to AB. This is also symmetric property. So these are both symmetric property. Understand that they're both symmetric property, because this is the way we used it more in class.
Why isn't it reflexive? To me, I understood it's reflexive like a mirror, like it's flipping it, you know?
No, because that's not what reflexive means. Reflexive actually means you're the same. You're exactly the same thing. Okay? So when you change the order, it's symmetric. Okay? You take Spanish. Okay, have you learned, I don't know if you're mainly being Spanish, or mainly, there's reflexive pronouns, like when you're talking back about yourself. Like me gusta is technically, I don't know if you know this, get a little Spanish here. I know you're getting Spanish in your geometry review, but why not? The verb gustar actually means to please. So when you say like me gusta pizza, and you're saying I like pizza, you're really saying pizza is pleasing to me. Okay, well I just gave you a little Spanish lesson. So, I don't know, okay. Number 16, we're moving on. I said change this to converse. Okay, so the converse is when you change the if-then order. What is your if, which is your hypothesis, becomes your conclusion. And what is your conclusion becomes your hypothesis. So the correct answer here was A. Inverse, we didn't really do it. Inverse actually is the one, if you remember, that meant not. If this is not true, then this is not true. We talked about inverses, we talked about contrapositives, but we really focused on the if-then statement and the converse. So that's, in all fairness, what I should be testing on the final, not something obscure, is the way I look at it. Number 17. If BFC is 70 degrees, they want to find EFD. So what you should be able to get from this drawing is angle BFC plus, there's an angle there that's 90 degrees, correct?
Correct.
Plus the angle that's EFD, all end up forming a straight line. And a straight line is 180 degrees. And by the way, if anybody is upset that I just threw their ball out, feel free to have your parent call me and complain. Because I'm reviewing for a final and somebody in here is throwing balls around. So feel free. I'm open to the complaint that I destroyed your property. And I'm even on video saying that. So nobody can say I wasn't willing. I will absolutely reimburse your parents the cost of the ball I just threw out if they want to call me and complain. And that's on video. BFC is 70 degrees. This angle is 90 degrees. EFD, we need to find that. So 70 plus 90 plus EFD. 70 plus 90 is 160. So when I subtract 160 from both sides, that's how I got that the measure of angle EFD is 20 degrees. Did you, oh, I may have erased that too quickly. Sorry, I'm a little annoyed right now. I'll calm down. Did you all get that if you were writing that down? For number 8, that was 17, okay. So for 18, A, F, B, let me change the color. AFB and BFC. And just like I'm doing here, this is what I always do when I'm doing them, is I figure out what angles are they talking about. Oh, those angles make a linear pair. A linear pair is going to be equal to 180 degrees. So I'm going to take the expression for the measure of AFB, and I'm going to take the expression for the measure of angle BFC. I'm going to add them together, and that should equal 180. 5x plus 3x is 8x. Negative 10 plus 20 is positive 10, equals 180. I subtract 10 from both sides. I get 8x equals 170, or x equals 170 over 8. So this will be multiple choice on your final. I'm not sure which way it'll be. If it's a decimal, 170 divided by 8 is 21.25. If it's a fraction, 170 over 8, they're both divisible by 2. So 170 divided by 2 is 85. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 85 fourths. Or 21.25. Are there questions on that one? So number 19, oh no, not number 19, number 20 confused me. I can do 19. So for number 19, angle ABC is congruent to angle EFG. and ABC is 72, so EFG is 72. They want me to find the measure of GFH. So if the whole thing is 90 degrees, 90 minus 72 equals 18. So that's why 19 is 18. Now, for number 20, even though you're using the same drawing, none of the information holds over. So that was one of the problems that we had in first period, is they were thinking that this fact that GFH was 18 still applied. It doesn't. So you have, I'm going to draw a fresh drawing so it's a little bit bigger and up a little bit higher. This is A, this is B, this is J, this is C, this is D. The whole thing is 90 degrees. You're told that ABJ is 28. You're also told that this angle, ABC, is congruent to DBJ. Okay? So they share this part, which means this part and this part are equal. I'm going to do a different color there. This and this are equal because this part is overlapping. And this whole thing equals 90. So you can say 90 minus this 28 and minus this 28 would end up giving you 33. Okay? So this must be congruent to this. They share that over. Are there questions on 11 through 20? So I'm going to stop the video because I want to upload that one as just chapter 2.